Do you know that the smarter you are, the more doubtful you will be? Oftentimes, you have seen the outstandingly confident individuals at your work or inside of your friend circle who never stop explaining how great they are at one particular task and then never doubt themselves about their own competence. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. Let us talk about this to make you understand about the fact that if you are doubting about your own abilities, it's a good sign for you, and I'm honest about it. In the year of 1991, a study ran by the Dunning and the Kruger. They tested the abilities of the participants in the humor, grammar, and the logical reasoning. But before showing the participants their results, they asked the participants about how they would judge their own performance. The participants demonstrated an illusory supremacy and inflated their own performance. The participants who were in the lowest percentage of results evaluated themselves to score almost 50% higher than they actually did in the test. If I would draw a graph of confidence versus competence, it will look something like this. This follows the overestimation of the lowest scoring individuals and underestimation of experts. What drew the most attention was the gross inflation of the lowest scoring individuals. Then they asked to re-evaluate the score. After looking at the top performers, the underperformers continued to inflate the score once again. Therefore, they come into the conclusion that if a certain individual is not good at something, they require the ability to realize they are not good at it, which comes from being a skilled person. Dunning and Kruger took few bunch of underperformers and trained them in the reasoning and math. After significant amount of training, when they landed at some decent position to score a handful of good marks, they tested again. This time, they stopped inflating their own score like before. The researchers come to the conclusion that the skills and the knowledge let them understood that the fact that they don't know everything. This worked as a wisdom. The explanation with regard to this particular experiment was when you are trying to understand a topic, you are at the surface level of that particular subject. People who have seen and tested only in the surface level water tend to think that there is nothing new inside of the deep sea. But the moment when one understands and started exploring further and take a deep dive into understanding, they will begin to realize that how much more is there to learn and grasp about any subject. With expertise, we gain confidence. Solution of this particular problem: you can always reach out to people and ask them how you are performing to evaluate yourself. Ask their perspective about your performance, which is why coaching centers are very important. Before you actually sit for an important exam, it is almost impossible for a person to judge themselves accurately. An outsider perspective is always important to help us understand better about ourselves. That is why feedback is very important. The fundamental cause to this trouble is that in the modern world, stupids are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubts.